Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're here for the public speaking contest, PS3, our only level. My name is Anirudh. I'm the chief judge for this contest.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Florence Lubinus, and I own a company called Smart Minds, where I am teaching public speaking. And I think that's why I'm excited to be in this venue here, because I'm looking forward to listening to some of your participants come and give an excellent speech. All right.
Hi, my name is Ullas Charga. I'm the technical coordinator.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Leela. I'm one of the judges for the public speaking competition. Looking forward all the participants doing their best and the audience cheering them.
I'm Ritu, and I'll be timing judge.
Hopefully everyone here is somewhat familiar with the process in which we do the public speaking contest. If not, I will do a very quick recap, just so everyone's on the same page. We have 3 rooms for this contest. We call the first room, Room A. All contestants go here and wait for some period of time. On a 6-minute interval, all then contestants are moved to the second room, where they are then given the topic. When they are moved to the second room, they then have 30 minutes to prepare the speech on that topic. The point of this process is to ensure that every contestant gets exactly 30 minutes to prepare to keep it fair for everyone, while making sure that we can sequence all of the speeches here so the audience sees them sequentially. This is now the third room, where we have our first contestant ready to come, who has already prepared for 30 minutes and is now going to give their speech on their topic. These topics are carefully chosen. I will be very offended if you think it's a bad topic, since I'm the one that sets them. Our topic for all the speeches today is, you are a museum curator who has recently proposed a new, exciting exhibit. Give an opening speech to excite new visitors to attend your exhibit. Make sure to include at least one reference to what the exhibit is about during your speech. Okay, so we will now start with our first contestant. Also, one quick note. It should not be a problem, but if you have any young children that make any loud noises, please take them outside the ballroom. Shouldn't be an issue, but I was asked to mention that. Okay?
Do I start? Hi, my name is Rohan Kudeti, and my badge number is PS3001. Is it a bird? Is it a car? Is it a dog? Well, it's all of them. Hi, my name is Rohan Kudeti, and my love for robotics started with Legos when I was really young. Then it went to watching videos about BattleBots. And then it went to competing in different competitions. So I can proudly say, with 8 years of experience, I love robotics. And my goal is to share with all of you. So enough about me. What makes our exhibit different? Robo Expo. So first, our exhibit is interactive. What makes our exhibit interactive? We have different robots across all stages of our exhibit, where you can control, test, and even play around with different robots. We have robots from different sizes, all the way from small nanobots and bugs, all the way to huge mechanisms where you can only dream of what they can do. Second, our exhibit is informative. So other exhibits and other museums are a little boring. They have posters, a lot of text, and a lot of reading, but have you ever seen holographic laser videos? I guess not. Well, come here at Robo Expo and you'll see a lot of them. At every stage of this museum, you'll find different mentors and teachers and even AI bots. So when an adult is not there, you'll be able to learn with others when adults are not ready. So this experience is for all age groups, from adults to kids. And what makes this place even more fun and exciting Games. I mean, who doesn't like games, everybody? So from kids, we have different challenges and building projects, and to adults, we have Jeopardies, and we host different live events, such as Vex and First Robotics, where others are able to watch and truly understand and enjoy the robotics experience. Robotics is interesting, it's fun, and I want everyone to enjoy it. So the goal of Robo Expo is to inspire the future generation, to inspire innovation. We want the next generation to be able to truly adapt and truly compete in the new and upcoming economy. And I want everyone to not just have fun, but to truly immerse themselves in the whole concept of robotics. So without further ado, everyone, I would like to welcome you all to Robo Expo. Come on in. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
into really showcasing its importance. So first, as I just addressed all the law students, law family, or lawyers in the crowd, the essence of the Hammurabi's Code, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, its fundamental core values have been adapted throughout law, literature, across the globe. Just to name a couple, the Magna Carta references the Hammurabi's Code directly. In fact, the US Constitution, which also referenced the Magna Carta, indirectly does that. Same with the Mayflower Compact, even early forms of self-governance. Hammurabi's Code may seem boring at a first glance, but I think we really all need to understand that today at the UTD Museum, that it's something of value. It holds presence. Now, I want to carry forward onto moral values. Hammurabi's Code may just seem like a boring piece of a clay tablet. It may seem like a boring structure that really can't hold any potential, but it has a lot of hidden value. As I said before, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. We've all heard this saying in one way or another, whether it's do unto you what you do want unto others, or treat others how you want to be treated as a more simpler form. Hammurabi's Code has built our society, it's built our culture, it's even built religions and foundational cultural values. I'm going to give some examples really quickly. It's influenced early Buddhism, it's a foundational piece for Confucianism, and additionally, it has been seen with effects in Hinduism. And it's prevalent throughout our country, throughout the globe. Hammurabi's Code is considered ancient literature. It's existed since the Indus River Valley civilization, and it is often referenced as a major piece of our history. So just to kind of wrap up today, as we witness this ancient piece of history, as viewers, I hope we all see this as not just a piece of history, but progress. In the Hammurabi's Code, it's written that if a man were to steal your goat, you should kill him. I want to address that society has progressed so far. Regardless of our political affiliations, I want all of us to recognize how we've moved beyond just the barter system and beyond just a simple do what someone else does to you. We've moved beyond that. So Hammurabi's Code may be boring, it may be silent, but it is a foundational piece of our society. It's silent, it's boring, but it's impactful and important. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, my name is Aditya Narayan, and PS3004. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aditya Narayan, and I'm from Boston. I'm going to 11th grade. Something about me is I love playing chess, so my museum exhibit would be about chess. Who here believes chess is a sport? How about who here believes chess is a board game? Me personally, I believe chess is very complicated. Despite only having 64 squares, 32 pieces, and 2 players, it can have over 1 billion different positions after move number 4. That's a lot of positions. So my exhibit would be beginner-friendly, casual, players-friendly, and advanced-friendly. Basically, it would be friendly for all chess levels. All chess levels can enjoy playing here, and they can all learn new things. So to start, we have all different types of chess sets. We have the world's biggest chess set to the world's smallest one, and yes, it's microscopic. We have the most expensive one. We even have the oldest chess set in the back. And then on the wall, we have all the recent chess world champions. So you all probably have heard about Gukesh, who is the most recent world champion last year. He's also the youngest one to ever win. So if you click the buttons for under each world champion, you'll hear their personal message they each have to share, which we recorded for all of you. If you're a kid, this will be particularly inspiring. If you're an avid chess watcher, then this could be for you just to learn more about some of your favorite players. So the Chess World Championships, they date back to around the early 1900s, I believe. And so we have all the world chess champions, their personal messages. We have the entire history of chess formats, such as the classic one, which you all probably know about. There's also this new one called Chess 960, which has become quite popular because it kind of removes the preparation and memorization from the starting chess position, which got quite boring for many of the top-level chess, such as Magnus Carlsen. And we also have all the chess.com bots. This is for you to find your chess level, or as we call it, ELO, and chess range for you to enjoy chess in the future. We have the history of chess evolving from over the board to online due to the pandemic, such as chess.com. And there's also Lee Chess. So there's the entire history of that in our exhibit as well. And we also have those glittering trophies over there for every single trophy that has ever been won in a chess high-level format. For you can touch it, you can look at it, you can awe at it. And have you guys ever known about the origin of chess? It is most likely because of strategizing for wars. So I see my time is wrapping up, and I'll give you one last piece that'll most likely get all of you to come to our exhibit. There was this whole entire saga about Magnus Carlsen not being allowed to wear jeans and getting disqualified because he did to a tournament. So yes, we have those jeans as well.
Yes. My name is Ananya, and my badge number is 005. Take a second and close your eyes. Imagine you wake up feeling with a heavy heart. These are 166 million children and adolescents out there. So, why are all these children experiencing this heavy heart and feeling like they're not able to talk to anyone? It's because of the limited mental health awareness. So, welcome to Movement from Within. So, I've been doing Indian classical dance for the past 10 years and counting. And dance is such a huge part of my life. So, mental health is such an under-talked topic that needs to be voiced out in various different sections of our life. So, suicide is ranked third on causes of death. And whenever parents are interviewed, oh, so why? I didn't know that our children were feeling this. It's because of lack of awareness. Patients who are fighting cancer are like noted as such strong, persevering individuals. And we view cancer as an illness, right? But mental health is also an illness. There are psychiatrists who are trained to treat people with mental illnesses. So mental health is also considered an illness, right? There's illnesses in mental health. So why are we undermining that? Why do we not see mental health as a stigma? Why do we see it as a stigma? Why is it set apart from all of our other very real health issues? One thing we need to do to help support this and talk about this more is awareness. Instead of silencing it at dinner tables and talking about it less and like making children think that they're weaker, is just increasing the amount of suicide rates that are going up. And depression is actually the #1 cause for mental health issues. So someone who's very much a huge part of dance, and I love dance, mental health can also be like fixed and helped with dance as well. Indian classical dance is proved to help with multiple different mental health issues like depression and more. So my exhibit will be showing a side of dance that also helps therapy, and it's called dance therapy. And it actually helps the movements trigger neurons in our brains to help with calming, and it enforces more endorphins like dopamine and serotonin, which are both used for our happiness and increases happiness in us. So with all of this, my exhibit will show a view of mental health that is not really looked upon. Mental health itself is very undertalked. So dance as a way of intertwining it will like help the voice of mental health go out. Social media is also a huge plays a huge role in our adolescence and in our teens, like our phones. So we can use social media to also help advance like our awareness spreading. And social media has so many cons listed, like addiction and everything. But why does it have to just be like a negative? It can also be a positive. So if you want to hear more about mental health and the intertwining with dance, come to my exhibit, Movement from Within. Thank you.
about various museum exhibits, it's not because they chose to exhibit for us.
Do I need to say it now?
You have to say it now. You can when you go there.
Okay. That's not part of my speech, right? It's before. Okay, sounds good. Anish Gowda, PS3007. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and fellow North-South competitors, my name is Anish Gowda from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am here today to propose a new museum exhibit that will ensure that we never go bankrupt again. But let's first all take a trip back in time. The year is 65 million BCE, and it's safe to say the geopolitical landscape looks a bit different. Here, it's not humans, but dinosaurs that reign supreme. You look up into the sky trying to judge the time of day. Instead, what you see baffles your eyes. A pterodactyl with the wingspan of an F-15 fighter jet and the size of a school bus descending down upon you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce you and welcome you to Jurassic Park. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Anish, aren't there like 7 movies and a whole bunch of TV shows telling us why this is a terrible idea? Now, I understand that point, but don't worry. I don't plan on illegally genetically modifying any dinosaurs anytime soon. Instead, compiling a team of the best engineers, scientists, and paleontologists from across the world, we've created the most realistic robotic dinosaurs in open containment facilities operated by a robotic kill switch, ensuring the entertainment and safety of all our attendees. The museum exhibit is split up into 3 periods: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous, ensuring that every dinosaur palette is met. The tour is operated by a rail-operated Jeep with one of our paleontologists inside telling us about the life of dinosaurs, their habits, and how Earth was like hundreds of millions of years ago. But not just the entertainment purposes, but the educational aspect is of crucial importance. To quote famed General Napoleon Bonaparte, those who look into the past are more likely to succeed into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Anish Gowda, and it is my honor to welcome you all to Jurassic Park. Thank you. Good job.
Ram Sagar Menon, PS3008. Okay. All right, everyone, may I have your attention, please? The Museum of Ancient Biologies would like to present my magnum opus and perhaps our greatest and most terrible exhibit yet, the Omegasaurus Rex. Now, why the haughty name, you all ask? Well, my colleagues have determined that there cannot possibly be a predator greater, more fierce, and so overwhelmingly large that we determined that this would just be an extremely fitting name. Unearthed over 3 continents and worth 10 decades of digging, this will please thrill seekers and fellow paleontologists alike. Now, how vast is this? Well, I think it's best appropriate that we compare these to other common dinosaurs that I'm sure you all know of. It's got larger teeth than even the largest T-Rex. It's more vast than even the greatest sauropods. And its armor, so incredibly tough that even the greatest ankylosaurs couldn't possibly match up to it. Viewing it is not for the faint of heart. I'm still shaken just from how much effort I put into it, and how immense even viewing just a fraction of the skeleton is. Oh man, that sucks. Anyways, tickets are out now. Make sure you get them now because I've spread this everywhere. Paleontology alike, everywhere, is bursting at the seams upon this new creation. Grab your tickets now, moab.org, Museum of Ancient Biologies. That's our website. You can get them right now for $25. And make sure you bring an extra pair of pants. You're gonna need it. Okay. Yeah, we're done.
Um, my badge number is PS3009, and my name is Darshka Jero. Have you ever watched Jurassic Park? Have you seen these magnificent creatures roam the earth, this natural beauty? Well, if you have, I'm here to tell you that that used to not be a reality, but now it is, with our newest exhibit, Jolly Jurassic. Jolly Jurassic incorporates state-of-the-art technology which allows us to take fossils from millions of years ago and make them move just like the dinosaurs did a long time ago. And we're able to embrace and feel that natural beauty. But what's the point of that if we can't have kids enjoy that? So I'm here to tell you that kids can enjoy this experience with something that we have never seen before, dino suits. It's similar to what Iron Man uses in the movies and what we see through Transformers. They'll be able to step into these suits and control the movements of these dinosaurs like no one has ever seen before. That allows for these kids to feel this interactiveness and embrace these dinosaurs. Because that's what museums are about, learning about history and our past without losing the feeling of fun. So it's extremely important to understand the point of these museums and of these dinosaurs, because these dinosaurs are a beauty that we haven't been able to physically see ever. And that's why this Jolly Jurassic exhibit is so important, not only to this county, to this state, but to the world, and to the technology we will see for the future. So, if you would like to feel like a Transformer, if your kid has ever liked Transformers or any of these kinds of movies, I would love for you to come to see, be, and play with these amazing creatures and embrace them at our grand opening this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. My name is Vidyut Srinivasan, badge number PS3010. Okay. Hi, good morning. Have you seen that big blocky thing in your science textbooks? I don't know, what is it called? Does anyone have any idea? Oh, it's that thing. It's the periodic table. Right, right. Now, why am I saying this? The East-West Museum of Dallas has opened the world's first fully finished periodic table. Now, this isn't going to be some big chart that you see on the wall. This is every element in a box, enough of it so you can see it. Did you know that element 118 is hot pink? I just figured that out today when I just went to the museum for the first time. Now, I'm going to repeat. You can see every element on there, and it's for a cheap price too. It's only around $35 for adults and $20 for children. Now, the way it looks is you'll see as soon as you go in, you'll see the main exhibit. So there's no fluff, nothing like that. You just get to see the main attraction, and that is the fully finished periodic table. Now, we'll have around 1 kilogram of each element in there. And the reason that you should come is because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, how many of you have just looked around in high school and looked at your chemistry textbook, maybe prepared for your final exams or something like that, and then just stared at that big thing and wondered why it's not a rectangle, first of all, and second of all, what it all means? What does it all look like? Well, today, you will have the answer if you just come with me to this museum exhibit. Now, if seeing every element in the world, everything that makes up everything in this world, isn't cool enough, we have some bonus features. We have a simulation for you. It's a screen of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And it's this big tablet-looking thing, and you can drag and drop them so you can squish them together. And the coolest part is whatever atom you make, you will see its label, obviously. You will see its label, and the coolest part is that there's a particle accelerator right there, so you can, whatever you create will be made in real life. Just be careful, it might explode. Now, are you wondering, for example, what are rare earth elements? I've seen them on the news a lot. Well, today you'll find the answer to that. Additionally, we have a fully guided tour, 118 exhibits, each one for each element. And it's only for $100. Another bonus feature we have is that you can touch certain elements and throw them around. Just make sure not to break them. We have elements like aluminum, gold, silver, and platinum. Everything you can touch. Now, in conclusion, you should come to the world's first periodic table exhibit at East-West Museum of Dallas because it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for just a fraction of the costs. All right, let's go. Thank you.
My name is Sunidhi Varghese, and my badge number is 11. When I was a child, I would always go to science museums or even children's museums. However, there is this is called the Museum of Learning. Now, why am I, just a regular 15-year-old, why am I creating a museum about learning? Well, learning is something that we can use in our lives, and it has many benefits, which I'll get into later. Now, the two main aspects that I want to talk about that is going to be like in my Museum of Learning is the flow state and focus. So my museum will teach students and even adults, because adults can actually benefit from learning too. So why would I talk about the flow state? Well, when we get into the flow state, our mind gets so focused on what we are doing at that moment. So let's say you're studying for a chem exam. Well, your mind is going to be focused on that chem exam. You're not going to be thinking about like the dog that's walking by the neighborhood or your mom yelling to like eat dinner. You are going to be focused in that flow state. One of the things that I'll teach my visitors as they come into the museum is one thing is priming the brain and priming before, like getting yourself excited for what you're about to learn really helps me get into that flow state, because then I basically just forget about everything that is happening around me. So that's mainly what I'm talking about when it comes to the flow state. Now, what about focus? Because we can get into the flow state, and that's really cool and all, but getting into that flow state requires focus. Well, I would host seminars that would help people get into the flow state or get into focus, I would say, because once you get into that focus, almost anything is possible. And now finally, as I conclude, I do want to talk about why I would even create this Museum of Learning, because I mentioned I would talk about this earlier. Well, as someone who wants to become a cardiothoracic surgeon in the future, I have a lot of goals in my life. So by learning how to even learn, I can reach my goals and I can even help other people reach their goals too. Secondly, you can level up as a person, because obviously when you learn, you level up and you become better. Finally, and I feel like this is the most important aspect, you can gain perspectives, because when you learn, you can gain more knowledge. Thank you.
break it when they had to pay for their school fees. So clearly, all of the artifacts that are on exhibit today, they're extremely touching, and I just really believe that you guys should go and visit the exhibit to learn more about the impact that North-South has had on these children and their lives, and the importance of education that North-South really fosters throughout their journey. So, obviously, since I designed it, I would definitely tell you guys to go and visit it, but I think it's more than just the artifacts and the beauty of our museum, right? It's more about the impact and how important education is and how it really improves people's lives and their standing in society. So before I wrap up today, I want to end up with a thank you to everyone who came out today and everyone who has really supported North-South's journey and supported this museum. So just a reminder that all of our ticket pricing is discounted for today, which is the opening day, and also all of the proceeds that we're getting from these donations and just the ticket fares, they'll go straight to North-South and hope to improve more kids' lives in the future. And before I end off, I want to end off with a quote, which is, when we empower minds, we empower voices, we change lives, and most importantly, we change society. Thank you very much.
Amoga Patwari and 15. Okay. Good morning. I have been bestowed the honor to introduce you to our new and explorative exhibit, the Tomb of Cleopatra. As many of you may be familiar, Cleopatra was an Egyptian royalty, remembered as a tactical and theatrical leader. Similar to almost all Egyptian rulers, her final resting place was in a tomb, where her body was placed alongside whatever else her people believed was necessary for her to excel in the afterlife, including various organs and jewels. Her tomb has been sought after and looked for since the beginning of its burial, with new stakeholders following search century after century. I invite all of you to witness this uncovering of her tomb. In this walkthrough exhibit, you'll be able to explore and observe the various aspects of an ancient Egyptian burial site, learn about her discoveries and which have led to greater insights on the origins of certain crystals, and converse with an on-site archaeologist who has had history in uncovering such a feat. I extend this invitation to any and all of your friends, family, and colleagues, as you will only know at the end of the exhibit the reasoning behind why Cleopatra tried in earnest for her burial grounds to never be found. I encourage you to ask questions about the site, the process, and the uncoverings, as this truly is a unique and special moment in history. With this, I would like to extend to say that in history, Cleopatra has been remembered for her war efforts and how she was also a woman who was able to find a place in power without having such an ability to do so for her time period. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ishita Menon, and I'm badge number 16. The Velociraptor, the T-Rex, the Spinosaurus. These are just some of the greatest predators from the Cretaceous period. Now, you may be asking, why dinosaurs? Isn't that a really common museum exhibit? You see dinosaurs everywhere, just a big pack of bones standing in front of you. But what if I say that the Cretaceous Cove can do so much more? Not only do we let you view the dinosaurs, I know some people love that, but we also want to provide an experience of a lifetime. At the Cove, we provide immersive virtual reality experiences. You could be running from the T-Rex, or you could be watching a Brachiosaurus eat its food from a tall, tall tree. These experiences allow our users to learn more and more about the dinosaurs. Not only the facts that you get from textbooks, but also live the reality of how it felt in that time period. For younger users, since not everybody is interested in virtual reality, we provide digging expenditures. So there's rare species, and we don't want kids to go in and mess with those fossils. So we provide a really common species for kids to be able to use their little toothbrushes and shovels to dig out the new and experience what paleontologists go through every single day. Finally, the Cove is a special place, obviously, so we want to make special memories. And what better of a memory than to be married there? The Cove has a separate wedding venue, allowing couples to be wed under the stars under the long neck of the Brachiosaurus, or through the deafening howl of the T-Rex. All in all, the Cove is a very, very special place that I would love for everyone here to experience. Not only for people interested in paleontology, but for every single person. We want to provide people the same experience that got us interested in the first place. From virtual realities that could have you running from the T-Rex to being wed under the stars with a crowd full of velociraptors, per se. The Cove is a very, very special place for what you want. So with that, I welcome everyone here to the Cretaceous Cove.
You need to repeat it. Okay. He's done.
Okay. Okay. Huh? How are we calling by the last name?
No, there's a badge number.
Badge number. Oh.
Yeah.
love, and my favorite colors. Somewhere along the way, you'll also find the ashes of my grandfather. Flower of Life is not just a simple exhibition. It's a story of a person you don't know, but you will find out about. Take a stroll through my life. Throughout the exhibition, every article has a bed of flowers at the bottom. You'll find daisies at the beginning, symbolizing the innocence of childhood. Places you find wilted flowers were times that life has been hard on me. You're essentially walking through my garden. So visit Flower of Life, and you'll see at the end of the exhibition, choose a flower to take home. But this is not just any flower. This is who I am. The flower is me, I am the flower. So nourish that flower. When you're nourishing that flower, you're nourishing me. Become a part of my life. See who I am. Local folks, at the museum, you may come and ask the curator for help with your own garden. This museum is not just about me. It's about all of us. It's about community. It's about the story of humanity. So come to Flower of Garden, walk through the flowers of my life, and make your own garden. Thank you.
I'm Haruni Srinivasan, number 18. Wearing beige is a recession indicator. Welcome to Exhibit 7, where fashion meets history and the economy. Now, as we walk through this beautiful exhibit, you'll see historical pieces of fashion from several different decades, from the 1900s to the 2000s. In the 1920s, you'll see flapper dresses, where people were wearing bright colors and feathers, and the economy was also booming. People were getting rich everywhere. And as you move through the 1950s, where the Cold War era starts to happen, you'll see that people began to wear more beige and brown and shades of gray. And they all started to dress in corporate casual. And this time, the economy was also declining. And as we move into modern times, we see a return to this sort of minimalist fashion, which is a recession indicator. Now, you may be asking, why? Why does this happen? How does fashion have anything to do with the economy or history? It all goes back to psychology. When people are taking risks in a capitalist country, the economy grows because they are investing in the stock markets, and that is what increases the GDP. But when people are wearing beige, it shows that they don't feel safe in their jobs. They don't feel like taking risks and wearing those bright colors. And this is also what causes the economy to fall and slow down. When you leave this exhibit, you will be filled with so much new knowledge in history, economics, psychology, and you'll see it all through the beautiful lens of the overlooked art of fashion. So visit this exhibit because it's for everyone, and maybe even try on one of the art pieces and see how different it makes you feel. And maybe take a risk when you go to work and wear a pop of color and know that it might be the only thing saving the economy. Thank you.
My name is Marsha Nath, and my badge number is PS3019. Hello, everyone. I am the museum curator at the Arizona Art Museum. And today I will be presenting a local artist's pieces depicting psychology, history, and art. Psychology and art are two topics that blend both STEM and creativity together. Art elicits a psychological response within an individual, which may include oxytocin, the love hormone or comfort hormone, or dopamine, feelings of excitedness, or sometimes the occasional feelings of sadness that may be elicited from these pieces. This exhibit is made entirely out of graphite and charcoal, showcasing historical moments, characters. In total, there are 30 unique pieces within the exhibit. Now, how exactly does this exhibit showcase psychological moments throughout history? Well, these figures have been advocates of psychology, professors of psychology, that have been keystones in developing the field. If you see this piece above me, you can see the depiction of the Stanford Prison Experiment, one of the most unethical studies done with patients leaving traumatized and psychologically impaired. For psychological enthusiasts, this exhibit will appeal to you, especially since the artist himself asked victims from the experiment to describe their experiences within the Stanford Prison Experiment. This piece is actually a personal favorite of mine, especially because I discovered the artist's special talent. The artist is able to accurately depict 99.9% of the topic or prison experiment that her subjects describe. Within the placard that's next to the piece, she describes not just the piece itself, but her experience with the individual she speaks to. For those not as involved within psychology, this exhibit is perfect to gain an understanding within the field's main events. This art exhibit is not only for STEM enthusiasts, though. It's attracting lifelong learners, people eager to delve into a topic they may enjoy. You may be asking, why does the piece within the exhibit with the artist only use graphite and charcoal? For her personal belief, the artist, she is an advocate for capturing the fine details. The materials they use, they're thin, and for her, color is sort of muddy and not as fine as using a physical material that has that point that graphite and charcoal have. The pieces contain various elements that all tie together, multiple, hundreds of elements that are in these beautiful pieces. Overall, if you are someone interested in the picturesque view of psychology's timeline, this exhibit is worth exploring. If you're someone who enjoys stories, personal, emotional readings, the description of the placard next to the piece will allow you to envision the artist and her subjects' experiences. Art enthusiasts, STEM enthusiasts, storytellers, come one, come all, this exhibit is for you. Thank you.
Okay, hi, my name is Isha Tadella, and my badge number is 20. Okay. Have you ever heard of the 80s dance like sensation, Walk Like an Egyptian? Well, it was a slightly inaccurate and very racist representation of ancient Egyptian culture and life, but it also introduced many Americans to the idea of Egypt and its unique traditions and cultures and rituals. So, my proposal for the new museum exhibit is to have an accurate and completely unbiased view of Egyptian life. And this involves incorporating many new ideas and things that haven't been done before in any other exhibits. This gives the visitors the ability to learn about and immerse themselves in a time in history unlike any other museum has ever done. Have you ever wanted to see how mummies were made? Well, in this exhibit, there's a modeling of mummies, and you could see how they're wrapped, made, and how ancient Egyptians were able to do it. Also, you could have a day in the life of an emperor. You can see what King Tut ate for breakfast or what he's doing, or you could see an exact view of everyone in ancient history. Next, you can try their ancient food, and you can also see what they did for fun or their rituals. Like you can learn about their mythology or whatever they thought was most important to them at that time. Basically, if you go to this exhibit, you can have a new understanding and you can broaden your horizons and learn something that you wouldn't think would have any relevance or importance to your daily life. But a lot of skills and ideas from ancient times are really applicable today. So from going to this, you can learn a lot of new things, and it'll be a really beneficial experience for you. Visiting this will allow you to get rid of like your biases or just be like a new understanding of everything. So there's so much to gain for this museum exhibit, and I really hope you guys consider attending. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pranaya Jakumar, and my badge number is PS3021. Yeah. Welcome everyone to PJ's Museum. I would like to say, how many of you guys travel far? Please raise your hand if you traveled anywhere. That's a lot of you. I'm hoping none of you guys are tired because I worked so hard on this exhibit, and I hope you guys won't fall asleep. Please don't fall asleep. Please. Anyways, now, how many of you guys are dinosaur fans? No one? Okay. Well, you're outside the dinosaur hall, and this exhibit I have spent months on negotiating and preparation to present this exhibit. I was able to negotiate with the Jurassic Park directors to get the T-Rex from the Jurassic Park movie. Now, in this exhibit, I would like to say that you can act out the movie yourself, meaning you can act out the chase of the T-Rex. You can start running from it. When I open this curtain, you're able to experience the full environment of Jurassic Park. And when I say that, don't worry, they're not real. The dinosaurs, they're all robotic. So the only thing you have to worry about is to not get caught. And if you get caught, you will have these ribbons on your hands, meaning you're out of the game. Now, each time you play, each time you experience the T-Rex of Jurassic Park. And you can act out any scenes from the movie, meaning you can act out the scene from the first movie, or you can act out the scene from Jurassic World. It depends on what you want to experience and what you want to live in, because this is your own movie to act in and your own scene. Now, it's not just the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I also was able to get to experience some of the other dinosaurs, like the dinosaur that, swims up in Jaws and the fish. I'm hoping you guys know what that means. If not, I strongly recommend watching these movies, because then you're able to envision what I'm talking about. But I was also able to get that. And you're able to zip line from that movie to one stage to another while many dinosaurs are chasing you. Don't worry, it's worth your time. It is better than any other park to ever exist, because it's not just that you're experiencing these things, you're also learning. You're learning about each dinosaur, you're learning about where they existed and what time period they came from. Meaning if they came from the BC, BCE, or CE. Depends where they are. So please enjoy, act it out, and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you for judging. Sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Amrita Turlapati, and my badge number is 022. That is the sound of your patient coding and experiencing sudden death on the operating table, just due to one person, one hormone, and one glucose molecule. Hi, my name is Amrita, and I am the museum curator for NMM, National Medicine Museum. Today, I propose a new, enriching, and immaculate exhibit for every visitor, doctor, and patient standing on this very fine day, the Type 2 Diabetes exhibit. In the world today, there are 200 million people suffering from type 2 diabetes. And get this, in 20 years, that will be 400 million people. In 20 years, that's almost double the population. So, what is type 2 diabetes? There are two parts to type 2 diabetes. First, glucose and insulin. Glucose is the sugar and the carbohydrates you eat, and insulin, it's a hormone that is produced by your pancreas. So, this insulin in a normal person's bloodstream takes the glucose and transports it to your cells. But in a person with type 2 diabetes, it's called insulin resistance, when the insulin can't quite budge and get that glucose inside the cells to fuel up your body. Here's a simple and easy way to understand this. There's a grandma and a grandpa. The grandma is the pancreas, and the grandpa is the body. The grandma just wants to talk to the grandpa, so she starts prancing up, but the grandpa doesn't want to listen to her. He has hearing aids, by the way, and he just wants to watch TV. So he slowly starts powering down his hearing aids. So what does the grandma do? She starts yelling even louder. I hope you could connect the dots. The grandma is the pancreas that just keeps pushing insulin, and the grandpa is the body that tries shutting it out. Here's a story from my grandfather. My grandfather suffered from type 2 diabetes. He was on his evening walks, and he slowly started noticing scabs and scarring on his feet. But he took light of the situation. Due to the infection, it led to the amputation of both his feet. Here's a famous quote by Dr. Andrew Weil, a renowned medicine specialist who speaks on the nurturing of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is not a disease of sugar, but a disease of lifestyle. By changing the way you move, the way you eat, and the way you live, you can not only reverse type 2 diabetes, but also change every life. Dear visitors, I hope to educate and nurture the grandeur minds of the society today. At our exhibit, we will have donation boxes, spin the wheels, brochures, shirts, pants, and all the merchandise, including art and visual diagrams of neuropathy and how it functions throughout the body. Because the real question today is how we, as beings, choose to nurture the minds of the future generations and truly make a difference. Thank you.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. Have you got the final list or no?
There's only one phase for public speaking. There's only one phase
My name is Charvi Thanakanti, and my badge number is PS3024. If there is one thing that has overcame barriers from language to societal to geography even, if I had to pick one thing, it would be music. And to prove my point, how many of you guys like listening to music or interacting with music in your daily lives in some way? Just give me a short raise of your hands. And if you notice, almost everyone in this auditorium raised their hands. And I think this really proves my point of how important music is in our lives. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about is as we evolve, and obviously evolution is a good thing, but as we evolve, as music has evolved, we have started to lose some of the traditional forms of music that have always existed and have helped us keep our culture and understand it better. And that is why I would like to propose an exhibit that focuses on preserving traditional music forms. And when I say different types of traditional music forms, I mean from globally, so not just India or America, but from all over the world. And I know this might seem like it would be something that wouldn't attract you guys as visitors, but let me tell you why it would be a good idea. So the primary reason, I believe, is because of how interactive this exhibit could be. And what do I mean by this? For example, we would have videos and in-person events from people all over the world, whether they're people who play instruments or whether they're music lovers themselves, to share about their cultural views about music and why it has shaped their lives so much. So for example, for me, I've always been involved in dance since a child, and it's a traditional form of Indian dance, and that's why traditional music has played such a big role in my life. And people like that would come from all over the world to share their experiences and stories. Another thing is that we would host little concerts of traditional music where different cultures could come together to create sound that is even more beautiful, because we get to mix different sounds and ideas, and it would just be so much better. The last thing is that you guys, the visitors, would be able to play different instruments from around the world, whether it's the veena or the violin and every single thing in between. Really, the most important part of this museum would be the fact that it would bring people together globally. And music really is a unique form of expression. It allows us to express all of our emotions, whether it be anger or fear or love, most importantly. And it really has the power to uplift people and to give them hope despite what situation that they might be in. And that's why I really believe that this museum exhibit would be so important. If I had to describe music with a single word, I would call it magic. And I hope this is exactly what you guys get to experience when you visit my museum exhibit. Thank you very much.
Nidish Inumala, PS325.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new exhibit called Reimagining the World, but in a Greener Way. Today, we'll take a look at how we could have reimagined the world in a more sustainable way, propelling a greener future for us, but also letting us see where we made mistakes in the past. Let's start off with what this exhibit is. I'm sure you've seen before in many museums the first few steam engines, the first few planes, the first few trains. Well, this exhibit is going to be a bit different. Instead of just seeing those things, we're going to replicate them in more sustainable ways. For example, instead of using coal power, we'll try using biofuels. These fuels are much better for the environment and are more renewable, meaning we won't run out of them at some point. Not only will we be able to have a greener world while using these, but future generations will also be able to use these without any worry of them going away. But I hear you ask, why should I even care about this? I mean, it's not really affecting me. My life is going to go on the same way, and my kids' lives are going to go on the same way. Well, we're also going to let you look at how the world could have been different. For example, while it may not seem like it nowadays, when the Industrial Revolution started, there was smoke everywhere. It was almost impossible to even live. But by going to this exhibit, you'll see how the world in the past could have been much greener for the citizens of before. This also translates to the citizens of today. If generations in the past were better off, that means that today, our generations could have been even better, as people wouldn't have to have worried about stuff like medical issues, instead could have focused on researching newer topics. In addition, this exhibit will show you how our future generations are being affected by what we do. Normally, that's an afterthought in all the research we conduct. It's always about how we can benefit, and not how the world will be affected as a result, or how future generations may be affected by a result of our wrongdoings. By going to this exhibit, you'll learn about the mistakes of the past, how in the past, it was careless to just look at the short-term gains instead of working hard and thinking of new ideas to see how we could have improved. By learning about this, you'll be able to carry this into your own lives and realize how, by making a greener future for our planet, not only do we feel better as individuals, but we're also propelling the future of our planet and the human race to be in a better place overall. Thank you.
Anish Palwai, batch number 026. Hey everyone, I'm Dean Kamen, and I'm the founder of Segway, iRobot, and First Robotics. I have decided to start an exhibit at the Smithsonian Museum called Robotics Through the Ages. Before AI and robotics take over the world, why not celebrate the history of robotics that we've had so far? So the first usage of robotics was in the 19th century, and it was by this writer who was trying to, or invented the first definition of it. But as time went on, we've had more and more laws and robots invented, such as the 3 laws of robotics, such as you can't hurt a human and other laws like that. Robotics has also made lives simpler for humans, such as manufacturing robots like the Ford assembly line, which makes cars, surgery robots, which are the medical robots that help with surgery, and transportation, such as the Segway that I invented. And cars could technically be robots too, because they're ways for us to be able to move, and they help us out. Oh yeah, there are also this really cool invention, which are mini robots and bloodstreams, which help to give vitamins and stuff to other people. We also have cleaning robots like iRobot, like the Roombas and stuff like that. Those help us out a lot. I'm guessing a lot of people have those. And we also have search and rescue bots, which are really useful to humans, because without them, we'd be in danger, like so much. Like they help put out fires. They help rescue humans in battle. They're just really useful. I feel also we have some great robots that help us out. We have the Tesla robots, which are still a work in progress, but I feel like they could be the future of robotics because they're humanoid robots. Humanoid robots are really great and can be useful to humans in the future. Boston Dynamics has a robot that can jump and can turn and stuff, which is going to be really, really useful to the future and for other people. So you should come and visit the Robotics for Ages exhibit.
My name's Viswajith, and then badge number is PS.
Will feature animatronics, so we'll bring back the life to other fossils. And these animatronics will act just like how that species acted millions of years ago. Now, this future hasn't been introduced anywhere else, so we want you to check this out. Not only that, but this will also be the largest museum exhibit in the globe. And hopefully this brings some more familiar faces to this museum. You can even, now it may seem a bit boring, but you can also interact with these fossils, which will add a whole new level of fun to this exhibit. Not only that, but this exhibit is not only for children, but it's also for adults, because you'll learn how these species lived millions of years ago without having to read a paragraph. Now, this exhibit will open in 2 months, and be prepared for a special surprise at the opening ceremony. And we want you to be there.
Yeah, my name is Akshara Makuntu, and my badge number is PS3-028. Okay. Where should I stand? Or can I stand here? Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the world's best museum. My name is Akshara Makuntu, and I'm your curator of most precious things today. And we will be talking about one of the most special things. It's your lucky day because I'm introducing our new exhibit, the History of Canine Evolution exhibit. And this is the first of its kind, and it has been carefully thought out and prepared over many years. Today, I'll be exploring the different parts of this exhibit, what each of it has, the purpose of each of it, and the unique features of the exhibit. So to start out with, there are many different details in this exhibit that we have prepared for you. So first, we have a focus on the evolution of dogs from the ancient wolves to today's Canis lupus familiaris. And we've also highlighted many different breeds of dogs. There's very much diversity in the dog breeds because there's a different type of dog breed in each part of the world, from China to Europe to Africa. And each of these dogs differs in their color, their fur type, and size. So we have many different facts and articles for people to read when they explore the exhibit. And now I'll talk about the purpose of this exhibit. So there's three main focuses. There's education, inspiration, and gaining awareness. So to start with, education is our first focus because we have direct connections to a lot of associations around our area focusing on dogs. And as I mentioned previously, we have detailed descriptions about each dog breed, so anyone who's interested in dogs can come and learn everything they want to at the exhibit. And also inspiration, because say someone is feeling clueless about their life and doesn't know what to do, coming into this exhibit will give them a sense of clarity and direction on where they have to go. And finally, on gaining awareness or developing compassion isn't something easy that someone can just easily become empathetic and compassionate, but by interacting with dogs and learning about them, you'll understand unconditional love and how you can be more caring as a person, which is very important. So that's the main purpose of this exhibit. And finally, I'll be talking about my favorite part, what makes it special. So we have highlighting focus on interacting with dogs. So every visitor will have the chance to interact as much or as little as they want. So first, we have ethically sourced dog furs, for furs from all types of dogs, from fluffy poodles to shaggy Shetland sheepdogs. So the visitors can pet the furs, but if they want a more lively experience, they can actually interact with dogs from licensed therapy dogs and adoption events are held by our local shelters, so they bring their dogs for visitors to pet. And we also are open to visitor dogs, so if you want to bring your own dog, you can. We have canine specialists and behavioral specialists to make sure that interactions between dogs and humans is all safe and to avoid any conflicts that may happen. And so as someone who really likes dogs myself, if I had this opportunity, I would have been really grateful. So I hope you enjoy this exhibit, and please buy your ticket today. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, here's my badge number. It's PS3-029. All right. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? No answer? Oh, good. There is an answer because you guys are looking like statues, like stone right now. And you know what's crazy? I actually have something about stones right now. Have you ever heard of Marble Ring Museum? Nope, because I'll introduce it to you right away. Want to learn about rocks and how they're made? No? That's okay, I don't care. Anyway, because I'm going to show you a spot where they do just that. and that's what I just said. Marble Ring Museum. We have a lot of stuff. There is rocks about sedimentation and volcanic rocks, not the rocks that you find in your backyard that you stuff in your pockets, then get in trouble with your mother because you stuffed them in your pockets, and then she's mad at you. This is personal experience. And it's not just any, rocks that you can just like look at. They're like shiny rocks too. There's crystals made of different proteins. They have we got purple ones, blue ones, green ones. Anybody like green? I like green. And we have hands-on experience as well. Just don't touch the pointy ones. If you want to, we got gloves, and we got experts here and there. If you want to ask questions, they're rocks. They're older than you, older than your mom or dad. And we got tour guides everywhere, if you want to ask questions about, well, what is this rock? Why is it shaped like me? I don't know. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff like that. If you guys don't like rocks, we're going to be there to change it right behind you. And we just want you guys to have a good experience. So yeah, thank you.
Start now. Yep. Swanik Kamenem, PS30. Right. Hello, in case you already you heard, I'm Swanik. I flew in all the way from Jacksonville, so I'm really grateful to be here. Yeah, it's very hot outside, so I'm really grateful to be out in this AC and everything. Yeah. So, imagine you were transported back into 1776, the founding of this great country. Imagine you were there when the Battle of Bunker Hill was fought, or when the Declaration of Independence was signed. Now this is all possible due to AI. Yeah, I know, we all love AI, right? So our exhibit, or I should say my exhibit, is using our latest AI technology and latest Oculus headset, Apple Vision Pro headset technology. So we use all these things to create a very realistic experience because we want our patrons to understand history. Because people often overlook history. Wow, this is so boring, right? People always say history is boring. I mean, how many of you guys slept during history class? So we want to make history fun again because, let's be honest, if you have the right teacher, history is always going to be fun. And we use AI to do this. Now, instead of having a person do all the voiceovers and the directions and the speaking and the casting, we just let everything go with AI. AI can do all these things for us. So we use the latest AI models and the latest voice pattern software to digitally reconstruct the founding fathers' voices, speech patterns, and inflections. It will literally feel as if you were in the room with them. You can even interact with these models because we got voice actors that can do all this for you. And many people ask, why? Why are you spending so much money, so much time, and so much attending so many boring meetings for this exhibit? And to be honest, I found a problem, right? There was a problem that a new generation is facing. We have completely forgotten how our country was. We have forgotten the history of our country. And I want people to learn our history, right? Because a wise man once told me, if you don't learn history, if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it. Thank you for your time.
All right, that marks the end of the public speaking contest. Usually at the end of it, the judges say a brief word or two about all the speeches that have happened. Given the timing, which seems like a negative thing that we went a little over time, it's actually a great thing because of the strong participation we have from so many contestants. We're each just going to go around and say one brief thing. If you could quickly introduce yourself, say your piece of feedback, and then we will hand it off to our eagerly awaiting spellers.
Okay, sure. Hello, everybody, and good afternoon to all of you. My name is Florence Labinus, and I just want to say something came to my mind while I was listening to all the contestants today, and that is a line from a famous movie where it says that 90% of success is just showing up. And I'm so glad that our contestants were here participating. They had the courage, which equates to confidence, being able to come up here and give a speech. So I am really thrilled to hear the different ways, the creativity that they used in tackling this one particular topic of starting their own exhibits. We were walked through history. We were also taken through people's lives, personal lives. We went through the Egyptian era. We went through a lot of dinosaurs, right? But I think I'm very, very happy and grateful to be able to witness these young people come up here and speak so confidently. Continue to show up, folks. Whether you win or you do not, remember, this is a skill which is going to help you throughout life. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to all the participants. As Florence said, it's very important you made the step to come here and talk about the topic. And then parents constantly encouraging and coaching them and giving them opportunities. Some of you have come from far, right? I think it's only a beginning. Most of you are so young and you have been observing, seeing things around you and learning from that. It's only a beginning. If you win, lose, or didn't make it to the top 3, it really doesn't matter, but you have taken a step to, start this journey. And I also constantly believe that in whether we do it in our professional journey or personal journey, speaking is very important. Speaking with conviction, clarity, and articulating the message and getting the attention from the audience is key part of who we are and what we become in future. Right? Therefore, this is a skill. Please cultivate it, not just for, I want to win a competition, but it's important part of who you are and your journey of life. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Anirudh, the chief judge of the contest. I'm also the one that sets the topics for the past few years. And I also helped with creating the materials for the online coaching a few years ago when we first introduced it. One of the things that I've seen since those times is a big change in how people are approaching public speaking going forward. When I used to participate in North-South, this was 10, 15 years ago, it was very challenging just to find even a few people that would be willing to compete in the contest. I remember back in the Tampa chapter, we had struggles with finding enough people to the point that you even could run a contest because there were so few that there was no point in giving out an award. I remember one year, some of the students dropped out in the last minute, and so we only had 4 people, and we had to convince them, we already have the trophy, we already have the venue, can we just run the contest to see what has happened? And to see this, where we are now going an hour over the allotted time because so many people want to give a speech, is something that's very, very passionate and amazing that we should be very proud of. It is something that really speaks to how much we value public speaking. It is not a skill that is valuable in just one career or one instance. No matter what you are doing, and I'm sure every parent here can attest, whatever meeting you're in, whatever situation, and whatever dinner party you're at, the ability to communicate your thoughts insightfully and clearly is very, very important. And with that, I'd like to end with one last note about this topic. I hope you thought it was a weird topic. It was one that we specifically chose because it's not very often that we find North-South students curating museum exhibits. The idea was to put you in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation, try to force you into something that you may not be willing to do. And if you were in school, you probably would, the first thing you would have done is go online and research how museum exhibits worked. And this point was to do the complete opposite. It was to try to get you to talk about something you knew well, that maybe other people found interesting or did not, and try to convince them and pitch them what you were doing. I look forward to seeing the continued growth of public speaking. I hope you all had a good time, and good luck to all of you.